Manchester City have unique chance to fix transfer logjam today and make deadline day easier. Manchester City executives are in Monaco for the Champions League draw on Thursday, and it's a big opportunity in the final days of the transfer window. Deals get done in Monaco all the time, but in the exclusive restaurants and on board the super yachts parked in the harbour over the next 24 hours, the final throes of the European transfer window will be in full swing. While the executives of most of Europe's biggest clubs are in the Principality for the Champions League draw on Thursday evening, finding out who you will face and when in the league phase is only part of the agenda. For many, meetings will be squeezed in, deals discussed, and handshakes exchanged. With most windows shutting on Monday, this is a rare opportunity for key decision makers to get in the same room and thrash out the final terms of a transfer. There are plenty of deals that look to be stuck in a logjam at the moment, where one move could unlock another, and so on. It's going to be a busy weekend across Europe. That remains the case at Manchester City, with Director of Football Hugo Viana in Monaco for the draw, fulfilling the duty that for so long had been the domain of cheeky Begiristain. But while Viana might be a new face at the Etihad, he is a familiar one in this environment. His workload might have been reduced a little with the decision to keep Savinho at the club amid Tottenham's interest, thereby ending any chance of a dramatic late move to sign Rodrigo from Real Madrid. But there is still more to be done. The priority is to get a few exits over the line, with Manuel Akanji and Ilkay Gundogan, the two players most likely to depart. Perhaps Viana's attention will be on discussions with his counterparts from Paris Saint-Germain and Galatasaray. A goalkeeping merry-go-round involving Ederson and Gianluigi Donnarumma has been on the cards for weeks, but with 4 days of the window to go, it still hasn't happened. The next few hours in Monaco are an opportunity to either put the wheels in motion or bring it to an end once and for all. Donnarumma's PSG exit has been so certain that he was given a grand farewell at the Parc des Princes last week. But if Ederson stays at City, then the Italian's chances of a move suddenly recede as well. It's a mystery why Galatasaray are taking so long to seal a deal for Ederson, having been interested in the 32-year-old for at least 6 weeks. The Brazilian has 1 year left on his contract, and it should be relatively straightforward to come to an agreement with face-to-face talks. That would give City the leeway to try to strike a deal with PSG for Donnarumma. The Champions League winners want around £35 million for the 26-year-old, but their hand is weakened by Luis Enrique's making it clear he isn't part of his plans. This really is the last major hurdle for City to negotiate this summer, but for it to happen, something has to give. The Champions League draw in Monaco is the perfect chance for that to happen. Manchester City make decision on Savinho transfer saga 4 days before deadline day. Manchester City are in for a busy final few days of the transfer window, but one saga has been put to bed before Monday's deadline. Manchester City have ruled out the sale of winger Savinho in the final days of the transfer window, despite protracted interest from Premier League rivals Tottenham. Savinho has missed City's opening Premier League games of the season with a minor issue, but he was at the Etihad on Saturday to see the club that wants to sign him beat his current employers 2-0. The 21-year-old, who joined City a year ago for just over £30 million from fellow City football group Club Troy, had been open to moving to Spurs this summer, but the two clubs never came close to an agreement. Thomas Frank's side had indicated a willingness to pay £50 million, but City wanted to double the money they spent 12 months ago. With the clock ticking towards Monday's 7 p.m. deadline, the deal is now considered dead. Tottenham are looking at alternative targets, and City are determined to keep the Brazilian. That means any potential move for Real Madrid, winger Rodrigo, is almost certainly over. City had considered the 24-year-old as a potential replacement for Savinho. Rodrigo is struggling for game time in Madrid under new head coach Xabi Alonso, and he has been linked with a Premier League move throughout the summer, with City, Arsenal and Liverpool among the clubs keeping tabs on his situation. But with Pep Guardiola already unhappy with the size of his squad and desperate for players to be sold in the final days of the window, a deal was only ever likely if Savinho made the move to North London. City's focus is now on selling players, with interest in Manuel Akanji from a number of clubs, while Ilkay Gundogan could also leave the Etihad before Monday's deadline. There is also a desire to finalise the goalkeeping situation, with Galatasaray still interested in Ederson and the Blues mulling a move for Gianluigi Donnarumma if their Brazilian number 1 does leave the club. Manchester City Carabao Cup third-round opponents confirmed Manchester City have discovered who they will face in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Manchester City will lock horns with Huddersfield Town in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Following Manchester United's shock defeat to Grimsby Town on penalties on Wednesday evening, the third-round draw was made, handing Pep Guardiola's side a clash with the Terriers at the John Smith Stadium next month. City are yet to take to the field in the competition this season, entering at the third-round stage as a result of participating in the Champions League. Premier League clubs who are competing in the Champions League, the Europa League and the Europa Conference League do not enter the Carabao Cup until the third round. After dominating the Carabao Cup between 2018 and 2021, winning 4 titles in a row, City have struggled in the competition in each of the last 4 seasons, not making it beyond the quarter-finals. They exited the competition at the 4th round stage last season after losing 2-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. This time around, City will begin their Carabao Cup adventure against the League One promotion hopefuls, who they last faced in the competition back in 1968. The Terriers pulled off one of the shocks of the round in the second round, beating Premier League side Sunderland at the Stadium of Light on Tuesday night. Lee Grant's side prevailed on penalties, winning 6-5 on penalties after a 1-1 stalemate. Huddersfield beat Championship side Leicester City in the previous round, also winning that tie on penalties after a 2-2 draw. Erling Haaland officially changes name on back of his shirt. In surprise announcement, Erling Haaland has decided to make a change to the name that appears on the back of his shirt when he plays for Norway ahead of matches against Finland and Moldova. Erling Haaland has decided to incorporate another name on the back of his shirt when he plays for Norway. Haaland has been known simply by his surname for Manchester City and the national side, but has decided to make a change. The City number 9 will still have Haaland on his shirt when they take on Brighton this weekend in the Premier League, but it will change to Braut Haaland when he pulls on a Norway shirt in the upcoming September international break. Norway play Finland in a friendly in Oslo on September 5th, before taking on Moldova